everybody! Happy long weekend and welcome to the Jayda and Stitches show. This week we're making a small toy for the smallest member of the family. It's a stuffed Easter egg with a shaker in it. Soft-sided rattles are very easy for little hands to grab and manipulate, and rattles make a nice cause and effect toy. They also don't take up very much yarn, they're really quick to whip up, and they make a great last-minute gift, especially if you have some visiting to do this weekend. That said, let's grab our hooks, grab our yarn, head on over to the craft table, and make ourselves up some baby rattles. For today's Easter egg shaker tutorial, you're going to want a very small amount of worsted weight acrylic yarn. This is a size 4. I've got a nice lavender purple here. A very small amount of stuffing. You don't even need this much. You don't need very much stuffing. A pair of scissors, a yarn needle. We're using a 4.25 millimeter hook or a G6. And you're going to need a shaker. So I've got a surprise egg toy. So this is one of those little captions that an egg toy comes in inside of a chocolate egg. If you've still got them lying around, film canisters, they work nicely too. You're going to need some beads. So I've got some old beads here that I don't want to use up on any other project. You can use rice, dried lentils, maybe some dried pasta for your shaker, or if it's for your furry baby, a bell. And once you've got all of that together, we can get started. We're going to begin with a cinch circle. We're going to use the single crochet stitch. So after you've chained one to secure your circle, you can work 8 single crochets into your cinch circle. Once you've got 8 single crochets into your circle, just cinch it shut. We're going to work in the round, and we're going to increase, but not in the common way. We are, after all, making an egg. So, find that first single crochet you made. You can put a safety pin or a stitch marker here if you want to at this point and use it as a reference. I'm going to show you what my little bump method is down the road, but if you prefer to use a stitch marker because it's easier to see, you can slip one in there right now. We're going to work the following pattern around and repeat it 4 times. 2 single crochet into the first stitch. This is row 2 we're on. 2 single crochet into that first stitch. Single crochet into the next stitch. And repeat that 3 more times. 2 single crochet into the next stitch. Single crochet into the next stitch. At the end of row 2, you'll have 12 stitches. You should have 12 stitches at the end of row 2. Row 3 is just straight single crochet. So single crochet in each stitch around, you'll still have 12 stitches. Row 4, we're going to increase again. You're going to work 2 single crochet into the next stitch. Single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. And you're going to repeat that little pattern 3 more times. So 2 single crochet into the next stitch, and single crochet into each of the next 2. So 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Do that twice more now, and you'll have 16 stitches at the end of row 4. Alright, you should have 16 stitches at the end of row 4. You should have something that looks like the top of an egg. And for row 5, we're just going to single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So you'll still have 16 stitches at the end of row 5, just single crocheting. You should still have 16 stitches at the end of row 5. We're going to increase again in row 6. So here's the new pattern. 2 single crochet into the next stitch. Single crochet into each of the next 3. Alright, and that one again. 2 single crochet into the next stitch. single crochet into each of the next 3. And you want to repeat that twice more. You'll have a total of 20 stitches at the end of row 6. At the end of row 6, you should have 20 stitches. For row 7 and row 8 and row 9, we're just going to single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So you're not changing your stitch count. You just want to single crochet even for 3 more rows. So I'll see you at the end of row 9. We're at the end of row 9. You should still have 20 stitches. This is how you count your rows. So there's row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this, so you can see where my row 1 turns into row 2, my little bump. If those of you have put in a stitch marker, it should be somewhere right around here. This is the start point, or the mark spot, that I'm going to use as my evening up line. So if I go all the way straight up the edge, I want to continue single crocheting until my last stitch in row 9 is in line with that little bump. That just evens things up, gives you a more balanced shape. Doesn't change your stitch count, you'll still have 20. And now we're going to begin the decrease. So this is row 10. We're going to start with a decrease of single crochet 2 stitches together. So pull up a loop in each of the next 2 stitches. Single crochet them all together, that's 2 together, and then single crochet like normal into each of the next 3 stitches. And you're going to repeat that 3 more times. So single crochet 2 together, that's your decrease, and single crochet into each of the next 3. At the end of this row, you'll be back down to 16 stitches. At the end of row 10, we're going to pause. So pull up on your working loop, put your hook aside. We're going to put a little bit of stuffing in the nose cone of our Easter egg here. If you're just stuffing this to be a little soft toy, then you can just start stuffing in the entirety with your polyester fiberfill or whatever stuffing you're using. If you're putting in the shaker, you want to get your shaker ready. So I'm going to open up my little egg, pour in some of my shaker stuff. You don't want to fill it very full, because the less you have in there, the more of a nice shakery noise it makes. So half fill the egg or the film capsule or whatever it is you're using, and then poke that into your egg. The little bit of stuffing at the top should keep things nice and sort of round. And then you can take a bit of stuffing and just gently stuff it in around your little capsule. You want to take this opportunity to chubby up your egg, give it a nice rounded shape so that it's nice to grab, especially for little hands. So take your time, just put a little bit of stuffing around there, make sure it's even, squish it around. Once you've got some stuffing on the inside of your egg all around your capsule, grab your hook, put it back in your loop, and we'll continue decreasing. It helps to try and kind of tuck in any of the little wispy bits of stuffing as you go. This is row 11. We're going to begin with a decrease, so single crochet 2 stitches together, and now this might be a little tricky because you've got stuffing in there and a little shaker, so just take your time. After your first decrease, you're going to single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and that's what you're going to repeat around for row 11. So you'll do this little pattern of decrease, single crochet into the next 2 for a total of 4 times, and at the end of row 11 you'll have 12 stitches. Alright, at the end of row 11 you should have 12 stitches. We're going to do one more row of decrease before we add in our last little bit of stuffing. That's just sort of to make it easier to continue single crochet. So we're going to single crochet 2 together all the way around. So that means every set of 2 stitches gets decreased. So single crochet 2 together here, single crochet 2 together here, and you're going to repeat this 6 times. So we're going from a stitch count of 12 down to 6. At the end of row 12, you should be down to 6 stitches. You should have a little space left. You can pull up on your loop, put your hook aside, grab a little bit more stuffing, and just pack it in around the bottom of your capsule. You might curve it up and over top of the bottom of it, sort of make sure that you fill out the bottom roundness of your egg nicely. So little tiny bits of stuffing, just tuck it in that little hole. Once you've got as much stuffing in there as you think your egg can handle, we'll just close it up. So put your hook back in your loop. We're going to slip stitch around the post. So this is row 13 technically, but it's just slip stitching and it's around the post, and that will help close up this opening. So you're going to slip your hook in through the next stitch and bring it back out through the stitch next to that. And what you're doing is you're popping the post up on your hook, and then you just slip stitch around it. I'll show you that again. So there's the next post. It's that perpendicular piece running below the loops of the hook. So in and out, and slip stitch. You can be tight here. You don't have to try and keep these loose. And this will tidily close up that little space. I recommend you do at least all 6 posts from the previous row's stitches. And if you still have a little opening, we will cinch it shut. Okay, that's all 6. You'll see there's just a little tiny space left. So I'm going to cut myself a little bit of tail. Fasten off. There we go. Make sure that's nice and tight. Then I'm going to grab my yarn needle and thread up that tail, and I'm going to just weave it in and out through those little slip stitches I just made. And then pull tightly. And that will cinch up that opening so that no stuffing will escape. Then I'm going to weave in the tail. So I'm going to go around and around and around, weaving the tail in underneath a bunch of these little stitches that are left behind. And every so often I'm going to back up and go backwards. This will lock the tail into place, and once you've done this 3 or 4 times and you don't feel like it's going to come out, you can just take the rest of the tail and pull it into your egg. So I'm just picking up any old stitches here. I'm going to go backwards. Now this is pretty grabby acrylic yarn, so I'm not worried about it undoing itself. There's no need to knot here. So that's enough for me. That looks nice and solid. I don't see any little holes or spaces. So now I'm going to just take my hook, or my needle I should say, stuff it into the body of my egg, bring it out way over here, and then wiggle in whatever might be hanging out that's left. Try not to interfere with your stuffing. You did take care to make sure that all of your stuffing was in the right place, so you want to just tuck in that little extra bit of tail, and if it's too frustrating, just snip it. But that is it. One egg shaker. Kind of makes me want to dance. So, you can make yourself a bunch of baby rattles or just stuff them and make them nice little soft toys. It's entirely up to you. And like I said, if you stick a bell in it, it makes it fun for the furry babies of the family too. That's it for this week, everybody. I hope you all have a safe and crafty long weekend, and we will see you again soon on the Jayda InStitches show. Bye!